Make sure you have your props, your whatever you might need, but we're gonna start standing. So go ahead and come to standing. We're gonna transition from the day and move ourselves into the evening, as well as we transition ourselves out of 2020 and into 2021. So we're gonna start standing. Just find a comfortable position with your legs. And our first position, something a little new that I learned in my workshop I did with Denise Payne, is this thing called dangle. So we're not gonna be here too long, but it's just a nice little inversion. It's a nice little stress on the back and in the hips. And we're just gonna get that blood flow kind of going the other direction. But before we do that, we're just gonna do a little centering. So ground out into those feet, close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale and sigh it out. Allow yourself to come into the room, onto your mat, and into your body. Connect with your surroundings. Start to let go of the day. Start to let go of the week. Start to bring yourself more present. And take another big inhale, draw those shoulders up to your ears. And let it go, let those shoulders drop down. Start to scan over the body today. Check in. Remember, no shoulds, woulds, or coulds. You're trying to let go and really be aware of your body here in this practice. Be aware of what's happening in the body, how it's feeling, having no expectations. Taking an inhale here, draw those shoulders up again. And let it go. Start to check in mentally, emotionally. Give each of those feelings and thoughts some validity. Today we're going to start to play with some intentions. For each of the poses, I'm going to read you a couple intentions, and maybe one of those intentions resonates with you. That's what you're going to kind of keep your mind on as we hold the pose. So noticing how that intention, that phrase, kind of resonates with the pose that you're in. And each of these intentions is kind of a way of connecting with your body, connecting with your mind, allowing yourself to let go of things that no longer serve you, and to take in things that you want to bring forward with you into the new year. Taking an inhale here. And sigh it out. Just allow yourself to be present. Allow yourself to be open to new ideas, to new insights. And just be with yourself in each pose. Keeping your eyes closed or open them, you're just going to slowly start to bend the knees ever so slightly and start to dangle forward. Bring yourself forward. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see. Just start to lengthen forward. Bend the knees so you take it out of the hamstrings. If you need to, you can always have your hands to rest on your blocks, your forearms to rest on your blocks, and then just let the head dangle down. If it feels okay and the stress is not too much, you can interlink opposite hands and elbows and let yourself just hang. And start to take nice deep breaths here. We're going to be here for 3 minutes. Allowing ourselves to dangle forward. If it becomes too much for the head to be completely down, you can just lengthen out so the face is facing the floor instead of the top of the head. And just kind of check in here. You're going to find that stress along the spine and the hips, making sure you're not getting into the hamstrings. It's not a hamstring stretch, so bend the knees or make the feet wider as much as you need to allow yourself to let go forward. And this dangle, it stimulates the lung and the meridian lines, those two pairs. And a couple of the intentions to think about here. Holding one that sticks with you for the last 2 minutes. I am humble. I am tolerant. I am valuable. I am inherently pure and whole. So allow one of those to just kind of stay with you and repeat it. Maybe it's a mixture of a couple. But as you breathe, let that intention wash over the body as you notice the sensations that start to happen in the body. Just a few more rounds of breath here. And exhale fully. Start to walk those hands forward and start to come into a little downward facing dog for a moment, stepping the feet back, just pausing there for a moment. And then slowly start to transition knees to the floor and then hips to heels, coming into child's pose just for a moment here, letting yourself acknowledge what just happened in that previous pose. And then slowly on your inhale, start to bring yourself back up, sitting on your heels for a moment. We're going to come into a proper child's pose, which we're going to stay in for a while. So you have the option, knees can be together or knees can be apart. So we're going to be here for about 4 minutes. If you need any padding under your ankles because it's too much on your ankles, place that under there. But take this first minute just to guide you to get into your child's pose. Maybe your head rests on a block instead of all the way to the floor. Maybe your arms are bent halfway. Maybe they reach all the way forward. So whatever's going to work best for you. I'm just going to keep mine bent today so that I can still talk with you. Just kind of settle in. Notice the sensations in the knees, the hips, the ankles. Feeling that relief in the lower spine, that rounding in the upper spine. So these next two pair, this child's pose and the next pose we're going to do after this, stimulate the small intestine and the spleen meridians. So here's some intentions for you to contemplate as you're here in child's pose. I am content. I am calm. I believe and trust in my future. My future is safe. I feel safe. So allowing yourself to attach to one of those intentions if it resonates with you. And as you breathe, continue to breathe in that intention. Just notice the effects it has on your body. And you can either stay here if this is feeling good and you're able to tap into that intention, or maybe you want to add in a little side stretch with this. So as you inhale, lengthen up, reach the arms forward. And then as you exhale, walk those hands over to the left. Just feeling that stretch in the right side, let yourself relax back down, let the arms relax. So just putting a little bit of tension on that outer side, that right side, a little compression on the left side. And try to let the head be as relaxed as possible. And slowly inhale, lift the chest. And as you exhale, walk yourself all the way over to the other side. Lengthening out, finding that extension in the left side and that compression in the right side. Letting the head be heavy. And inhale, lifting and lengthening. Exhale, bring yourself back to center. Pause there for a couple breaths. Taking a full inhale here, reminding yourself of that intention for this pose. And let it go. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, slowly walk your hands back. And from here, shift your hips to one side, lengthen those legs out. And give them a little shake here. So I've been saying intentions, I meant affirmations. We're saying some affirmations. I like to confuse those a lot. So again, this next one also does the small intestine and the spleen. as we're going to go into it, but maybe a different one of those affirmations resonates you with this. So this next one, we're going to do the toe and ankle press, which I know is not super fun, but it's good for our feet and it stimulates those two systems. So you're going to come back up to your toes. You're going to tuck your toes under and then sit back on those heels. So all the toes are pointing the same direction. We're only going to be here for a minute. Thinking of those intentions, I am content. I am calm. I believe and trust my future. My future is safe. I feel safe. If it ever becomes too much for your toes, all you need to do is just lean forward to take that weight out of the toes. Just a few more seconds here. So then from here, transitioning, point those toes, sit back on those heels. And then from here, you have the option, if this feels like this is as much as you can go, stay here. Otherwise, maybe start to lean back and lift those knees. At the beginning, I like to have a little bit of prop under my knees, just so there's a little extra tension because I don't really feel anything with my knees flat. So I'm just gonna lift my knees and slide that under so you feel that extension on the front of the ankle. And again, to the point of discomfort, not pain. And then start to breathe. And bringing that affirmation back to mind. And then transitioning back to those toes tucked under. So it's only a minute of each, but alternating between the two and just noticing that transition. And then once you're there, starting to bring that affirmation back to mind with your breath. And then again, transitioning to those toes flat. Maybe you start to lean back a little bit more. Maybe you hold on to those knees and lean back, or you place that cushion underneath, going a little bit deeper. And if you need a little more weight, add a cat. And then last round, shifting forward to tuck those toes. Bringing that affirmation back to mind. And last time here, pointing those toes, sitting back on those heels, maybe going a little deeper by lifting those knees. Again, there should be no pain, but discomfort is okay. We're lubricating those joints, stressing those joints, stimulating that spleen and small intestine meridian line. Taking a full inhale here, reciting that affirmation. And let it go. Roll yourself forward, bring those heels to one side, lengthen them back out. And then bouncing those legs a little bit, groaning, it's okay. And then maybe making some circles with those ankles, getting some circulation back to the left and to the right. And then our next one is caterpillar. So we're gonna be folding forward here. Try to see if you, and when we do our forward folds, normally we kind of remove all that flesh. See if you can do something different. Keep all that flesh underneath you today. Stack it right back in there. Make your feet as wide as you need to allow for any accommodations for any excess skin, any tension in the legs. And then really take it out of the hamstrings. You want to feel it in the hips and in the back. So start to roll forward. And just lengthen yourself. If you feel that tension in your hamstrings, bend your knees. I'm liking it these days with even placing something rolled up underneath my knees. That just kind of helps keep it out of my hamstrings a little bit. I'm going to start to lengthen forward. You can let your head drop down. If you need a little bit more sensation, hands on the back of the head helping you round forward. If that's too much sensation, rest your head on a block. And then just start to settle in here. And then this pose here stimulates the kidney and the urinary bladder meridians. Those affirmations associated with this is I feel sexually safe. My sexual forces are balanced. I am peaceful. I am balanced. All conflicts are clear. So choosing one that resonates with you and start to settle into that stillness. We'll be here for another 4 minutes. So allowing yourself to drop in to those sensations. Allowing yourself to drop into that intention, that affirmation. full inhale here, reciting that affirmation to yourself. And let it go. Slowly start to bring yourself up towards seated. Using those arms to help you. And then lean back into those hands, roll the shoulders back, open the chest. Maybe rock those legs from side to side. And then bend those knees. And find your arms around your knees and just draw your head to your knees for a moment. Noticing the effects of the pose. Slowly go ahead and open up those legs again. From here, we're going to go into dragonfly, which is wide legs. So as wide as you need them to be, but where again, you're not going to feel it in the hamstrings. You're going to feel that sensation on maybe on the inner groin. But if you need to, bend your knees so you can keep that sensation in the hips. And then going just a little bit deeper, maybe elbows to floor, maybe to block. And then start to continue to round forward. I tend to keep my knees a little bent and then maybe even prop a block under them so I can stay in the sensations in my hip because I tend to go into my hamstrings pretty easily in this pose. And just take a few moments here, settle in. And with this pose, dragonfly, if you find that it's too much to have both at the same time, you can take one leg in, and about halfway through I'll have you switch. And then you can lengthen forward with just one leg. So one leg's going to be bent in rather than both extended out. So this pose, this dragonfly, stimulates the liver and the gallbladder kidneys. Sorry, the gallbladder meridians. And those affirmations associated with that are the following. See which one resonates with you. I am happy. I experience freedom. I forgive others. I no longer feel the need to blame. I lovingly care for myself and others. Allow one of those to settle into your mind as your affirmation here, as you settle into the sensations of the body. And if you're doing half dragonfly, slowly make your way up. Extend that leg and go and bend the opposite leg and fold right back into it. Taking a full inhale here. And let go of that affirmation. Slowly start to make your way back up. Using your hands. And then slowly helping those knees up. Coming back into that little tuck position. Bend your knees, feet together. Wrap your arms around your knees and drop your forehead to your knees. Noticing the effects of that pose on the body. And then from here, take those legs out again in front of you. Maybe give them a little shake, a little rock from side to side. And then from here, we're going to transition onto our belly. When you're ready, start to move your way to your belly. We're going to go into a little bit of an arm stretch here. Be mindful that you're not going too deep, too fast. We're not going to be here too long. We're just going to be here for a couple minutes. And so from here, we're going to start with our elbow bent. And our elbow is going to be bent, and we're going to slide the elbow out, our elbow and shoulder in line, our wrist and our shoulder in line, and then just start to roll over to one side, maybe using a pillow or a block for your head, and then feeling that stretch kind of on your body. Bend your knees, stack your knees, and then if it's okay, that hand that is not bent and on the ground, maybe that hand comes back behind you. So finding that on your back. And this stimulates the pericardium and the triple warmer meridians. The affirmations associated with this are: I am relaxed. My body is relaxed. I am generous. I am full of enthusiasm. Find one that resonates with you here. And then you can either stay here, you can add on just a little bit, start to straighten that arm out to the side. So the shoulder head kind of rolls to the floor, and then maybe that top leg starts to bend up toward the ceiling, and you start to find a little bit of a twist. Again, if it's too much for the shoulder here, stay in the previous position. And breathe in that affirmation. Take a full inhale here. And let it go. Your top leg is lifted to the ceiling, bring it down to the ground. Bring that top hand down to the floor. Straighten your legs, start to roll to your belly. And allow your head to rest either on the block or your hands. Relax there for a moment. And then we'll switch to the other side, starting with your elbow bent. Looking at your elbow, your wrist, and your shoulder, and start to just roll over toward that side. Propping your head up as needed. And then bend the knees. From here, that top hand, if it's okay, comes back behind you. Just allow yourself to relax into this pose. Allowing that affirmation to continue to settle into the mind, into the breath. And then again, you can stay here if it feels okay for your shoulder. Take that arm and straighten it out. Let that shoulder head drop to the ground. And then maybe take that top leg up to the ceiling. Find a little bit more of a twist. Inhale here. And let it go. Slowly start to bring that top leg down, straightening both legs, rolling onto your belly. And then resting your head on your hands or on the block. Pause there for a moment. And then slide your hands by your side. Press yourself back into child's pose for a couple moments. It's a nice little counter to that. Maybe your elbows just come to the floor to begin, or maybe you lengthen out. Just notice the effects of that pose on the body. And then thinking about how your back is feeling, and thinking about where your energy is. The next pose, you have the option of doing camel and then going into supported bridge, or maybe supported bridge is where you want to start and stay. So supported bridge is just like we do in a normal class bridge pose, block under our hips, we hold there. That's gonna be the supported bridge. If you wanna do camel, we're gonna hold it for 1 minute, 3 rounds, coming down to our knees and holding there for about 20 seconds in between. And then we will go to supported bridge. So just kind of think about that for a moment. I will lead through camel and then into supported bridge, but if you are ready to go into supported bridge, you may go there now. Otherwise, start to press yourself up. And then from here, use any props you might need under your knees if you're doing camel with me. Tuck your toes. And your camel can be as deep or as easy as you'd like it to be. I'm going to keep it nice and easy and keep my hands on my hips. Take a nice deep inhale here. And exhale, lean it back. Chin toward your chest. Good, so this stimulates a couple of the meridians, the heart, as you can find your heart open here, as well as the small intestine. The affirmations here, I love, I forgive. My heart is forgiving. I am full of joy. Taking an inhale. And as you slowly exhale, transition to sitting on the heels or on a block. Pause there for a few moments. Let that pose settle in. We have 2 more times. And then on your inhale, start to bring yourself back up. And on your exhale, find your pose. Draw that chin down toward the chest. And try relaxing yourself into the pose. Bring that affirmation into the breath. Few more cycles of breath here. As you inhale, rock yourself forward. And exhale, sit on those heels or block. Just notice those sensations there. And then one more time. Inhale, draws you forward. And exhale, finds your pose. And inhale, slowly bring yourself forward. Exhale, come all the way down to the floor. You're going to transition into that supported bridge. So I'm going to lay down onto your back. Sliding that block underneath your hips. And pausing there. Again, you have any height that's going to feel best for you. The lowest, the mid, the highest. And now you can let yourself just release into the pose. Maybe your knees go a little bit wider. Just feeling that support underneath you. We'll be here for 2 minutes. Returning back to those affirmations. Taking a full inhale here. And let go of that affirmation. If you're on a mid to high height of the block, drop it down to just that lowest height and pause. Coming down slowly. And then go ahead and bring that block all the way out from underneath you. Pausing there, maybe even dropping those knees in, feet wide. Maybe even extending the legs if that feels good. Just notice the effects on the body. And then start to bring any movement that you might need to into the body, maybe wipers, maybe hug the knees into the chest. And from here, coming into a side stretch again, a little banana asana. The banana asana really targets 8 different meridians, actually 10 different meridians. But we're gonna focus on, you can focus on either the heart and the stomach, or a small intestine like we just did, or any of those other meridian lines, any of those other affirmations that came to mind, you can focus on those. Just gonna bring those legs out. Taking the legs out. And then we're gonna bring our arms by our side. Take your legs, walk them to the left. And then take your left leg, cross it over your right. Just kind of anchor that right hip down. So if you feel like you need a little bit of extra support, maybe you place a blanket or a bolster over your hips, just kind of letting that feel the support and the weight. And then taking your arms overhead, see how that feels. And then start to walk the upper body to the left as well. So you're creating this compression on the left side, this extension on the right side. Just check in, making sure the shoulder's gonna be okay. Going overhead, maybe your hands touch, maybe your elbows and hands touch to go a little deeper, but just be mindful, trying to keep that top shoulder, that right shoulder, heavy to the floor. And you can even take your left ear to your left shoulder, taking that curve all the way up into the neck. Just start to settle in here. Settling in on an affirmation that feels good. And taking a full inhale here. And let it go. Slowly bring yourself back to center with the upper body. And then uncross the legs, bring those legs back to center. And then taking those legs over to the right. Taking that right leg, cross it over the left if it's comfortable. And then taking those arms and upper body over toward the right. Maybe even that right ear drops to the right shoulder. And settling in here. Settling into that stillness. Noticing the sensations that are occurring in the body with your breath, with the affirmation in your mind. And taking a full inhale here. And let go of that affirmation. Slowly bring the upper body back to center. Uncross the legs and bring that lower body back to center. Pause here for a moment. Bring those arms down by the side, a little mini Shavasana. And just kind of scan over the body. If you're feeling complete and you don't feel like you want to do any other poses, you may end your practice here, go into Shavasana, just kind of tune me out. But I have one more pose, a little bit of a twist. It might feel good. And again, the twist is going to stimulate quite a few meridians, about 8 of them. So holding on to any affirmation that you need to end your practice. So if you're coming along with a twist, take your knees, go ahead and bend them in, draw them into your chest, give them a squeeze. And then keeping your knees in as close as you can into your chest, drop your knees over to the left. If you need anything to prop them up or squeeze between them, please do. And just kind of notice how that feels. It's going to feel a twist a little bit higher into the upper and mid back here. And if you want to take that twist a little bit more lower, just draw the knees a little bit lower. So you find the place in your spine that it's going to feel good. So start to draw the knees away from the chest until you feel the spot that's comfortable for you. See if you can take that right foot and place it into the sole of the left foot for a little bit of support. Let that right arm open up wide. If it doesn't quite reach the floor, place a pillow underneath. And just continue to breathe here. If any affirmation bubbles up, allow yourself to explore that as you continue to breathe. Otherwise, just focus on your breath, on the sensations happening in the body. And taking a full inhale here. And let it go. Drawing those knees back up toward the chest, come back to center. And then when you're ready, dropping those knees over to the right. Keep the knees as close to your chest as possible to begin. And then just kind of notice if that feels good or if it feels better to slide those knees away from the chest, coming into where it feels good for your spine. And then take that left foot and kind of tuck it into the sole of the right foot as you let that left shoulder grow heavy to the floor. Using any props you need to feel supported here. And then let yourself tune back into that affirmation that comes to mind. Tap into the sensations happening in the body. And just be present with the body and mind. And taking a full inhale here. And letting go of that affirmation. Slowly drawing those knees back up into the chest and back to center. Giving them a little squeeze. Maybe rocking a little bit, maybe pointing and flexing through the feet. And then slowly transitioning into Shavasana. Take any movements you need to so that you can rest here comfortably. We'll be here just a short time. We've been on our back a while. So allow yourself to get comfortable. Once you're there, just kind of scan over the body, check in. And then take a nice full inhale. And as you sigh it out, let yourself surrender into stillness here. Let your body and mind take rest. Let the energy and affirmations take hold in the body. I'll bring you out of Shavasana with 3 bells. Take rest. Feel free to stay here if you need more time to restore from the practice. Otherwise, start to let your breath deepen and lengthen. On your next breath, bring some movement into the body, the fingers, the toes, the wrists, ankles. And on your next breath, reach your arms back behind your head, slide your feet together, give yourself a long stretch. And then slowly bend the knees, your choice, either hug the knees in or maybe do a little windshield wiper with the legs. And then when you're ready, rolling yourself over to one side, use your arm as a pillow, pausing there. Scan over mentally, physically, acknowledging the shifts from the practice today. And then pressing into your hands, press yourself up. Come all the way back up to seated. If your eyes have opened along the way, allow them to close. Bring your hands to your heart center, allowing yourself to be in the room, on your mat, and in your body. Connecting with one intention that stood out from the practice, one that resonated the most with you, one that you'd like to keep with you throughout your evening. And hold on to that as we end our practice with one Om or a sigh of the breath. Exhale fully here. Inhaling. Bow your head slightly. Take a moment here, think of one thing in your life that you truly are grateful for. And hold on to that image in your mind's eye as you raise your head with a smile. Thank you for being here. Thank you for practicing with me. Drink lots of water, eat your veggies or some love. Namaste.